Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with producer Eric, Special K, and Sam.
And we're about to give you the rodeo sounder of the day.
Yeah, it's back.
Yay!
3 years now. It's just
Wow.
3 or 4 years.
Thursday, gosh, is it the fourth year now of the rodeo
Kevin, is this your
sounder?
third year in a row or fourth year in a row doing it?
They are doing third year in a row. Okay, so here's what we do. Obviously, Rodeo Houston is a huge event in the area. If you're new to Houston and you were not, this is going to be your first rodeo, no pun intended. This is not just about people who like country music or rodeo life or ranch life or farm life, like tractor life. This is an event for everybody from every walk of life. And it's so much fun for 3 weeks. NRG Stadium, NRG Center. It is a whole different world. You are dressing up like a cowgirl or a cowboy. It is not common to see somebody just showing up in some work clothes.
No, they
going to the rodeo.
We're celebrating Western culture,
Western.
as they say in their release.
True. Plus,
Western.
and you do learn about the animals and the tractors, the stuff that I grew
Right.
up
It's an
on the farm,
education.
so I love it.
So we did a rodeo ticket giveaway weekend over the weekends to hook you up with some of the shows. You can go to rodeohouston.com to see the full lineup. It starts with Reba McEntire on the 4th. It's going to end with Luke Bryan. He's going to close out the whole show. And today, between 9 and 7 a.m. all this week, when you hear the rodeo sounder, you have to be caller 104 to win free tickets. Now, what number are you going to call? Well, you better lock this in your contacts right now so you're not fumbling around when you hear it. It's 833-390-KRBE. You're not calling it right now. I'm just giving you that number to have it because we're about to reveal what the sounder is. What are you listening for between 9 and 7? Here it is.
Suey.
Is that my wife telling me to go eat?
That is right.
What is
That's
the
right.
origin of that? How did that all begin, like saying suey when you want to slop the pigs?
Oh, I don't
Slop
know.
the pigs.
Is that what you're doing? I had no
slop.
idea.
Suey?
Yes,
I have no
that is a
idea.
call. That is definitely a call.
Slopping the pigs.
I thought it was like a college thing for the what school
look
does
that up.
that?
Oh,
Razorbacks or something?
probably Razorbacks, Arizona,
Doesn't
Arkansas.
somebody yell that in their college chants and
Sioux
charges
Pig
and
and they
whatnot?
used to like
I
that.
have
They-
no idea.
I don't know. You text me at 37530 if you know what I'm talking about. for
Probably
whatever
them
school
because
that
there's
was.
nobody named the pigs.
Here it is. As for
Razorbacks.
calling hogs, let's see. It starts in the 1920s. As the story goes, we were losing, and a farmer familiar with calling pigs started saying suey in desperation. We came back to win in some competition. I don't know.
That-
Wait,
by the
what-
way,
wait, wait.
What school was that?
it's Woo Pig Suey for University of Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah.
That is
Woo
their
Pig
rallying
Suey.
cry. Woo Pig Suey. Woo Pig
Oh,
Suey.
yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says the
So-
Razorbacks.
Anyway, that's what you're going to be listening for today from 9 to 7. Randomly when it plays, it can play at any time between songs in the middle of a commercial break. Anytime you hear that, be caller 104 to 833-390-KRBE and get hooked up with Rodeo Houston tickets. That's going to be really fun. Now, we also want to put a spotlight on the listener line at 713-278-VENT. That's 8368 on your phone. People leave us messages all the time.
Especially on the weekends, I'll see like 3
Yeah.
or 4 just pop up like at 8 in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing to get up that early? Sleep.
Maybe they just wanted to experience the day, but I think this is something that a lot of people will be able to relate to because how many of us have gone back with an ex, even after an amount of time has passed where you broke up and maybe something like a couple of years have passed and you thought, I think of giving it a try. Does it happen? All the time, but listen to what she had to say.
I don't really know if you would consider this a panic button, but it feels like one to me. I was in a relationship 5 years. We've been broken up now for a little over 2 years. We got back talking and connection, and we've been dating for like a month or two, and things have been great. But I don't really know anyone who's been in a relationship for a while, broke up, and got back together. And I don't know if it's good or bad or what to expect. It's kind of weird because you know this person, so it's not like you're dating and getting to know this person. Of course, we've changed, so we're getting to know who we are now. But it's comfortable because we already know each other. I don't know if that's why it's so easygoing. I'm just really confused. How does dating go when you've been with this person before? Like, we lived together and everything. We were engaged, and we broke up. So I need help.
Have you not met producer Eric from the Roula and Ryan Show on 104.1 KRBE with his
But
4-time
Eric-
breakup?
Eric
I was
broke
never-
up, but not that long.
I was never
Not for-
engaged.
Yeah.
Like, but we did live together.
But
and then
she
moved
was
out and then-
apart.
Okay, for those that
5
don't know,
years.
Eric and his now wife, Neggy, you've been married how many years? 17, 18 years.
Yep.
Okay. Married and broken up.
2007.
I mean,
I'm bad at
dated,
math.
broken up, lived together, broken up.
Yeah.
Broken up.
Yeah, one
Boom.
time when we were out of work, I lived with her for like 8 months.
And then
I
y'all broke
didn't have a
up.
place because I had to sell my place.
And you had to break up after
break
that?
my rent, or my rent was up, and I didn't have any money. I was broke. So I lived with her for like 8 months.
And then you broke up again?
Yeah. I think when we got the job here, then
Uh-huh.
I think she felt safe. Like, okay, he's got a job. He's got money.
Wow.
You can go on your own
Stability.
way. Yeah, you can leave.
I think
Yeah,
that
I mean, my
through
apartment.
separation grows fondness. Booster and I took a short break, and it just killed me to be without him. Thank goodness I convinced him to come back.
You convinced
But
me
how
to
long
come
did it
back.
take to do
A
that?
couple months.
To get him to
Were
come
you the
back?
one that,
And that was to come back.
wanted
back,
to
like,
end it?
He traveled like different states, so that's a lot of work.
Oh, well, how
we
did
won't.
you-
We won't get
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the weeds about.
Oh, no, I don't want to
But how
dredge up
does the
painful
reconnection
memories.
happen? Like, does somebody, like, who reaches out first and says, I want you back, or let's try this again? Or, because I guess for the woman who called our show, this is her first time
I think
doing
she
this
wants
to be
validation.
back with an ex.
What she wants.
Yeah, I mean, at the time it was just text messages on the phone. That's before there was very good pictures, but I mean, we still send pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I feel
Snail
like
mail?
It's probably
her
Kev
question is,
apologizing because he did something.
some people go back because of the comfort of it, or
That's
it's
what she's
easy,
saying.
and that may not necessarily be
Right,
healthy.
don't do it
just
if
because
it's
you know who it is,
comfort.
Familiarity.
and you've been there. So,
But
I mean, it sounds
engagement, though, I feel like that's embarrassing. Like, I broke it off, and then my family, like, they were excited, and then they were like, wait, you're not together anymore?
Yeah.
And now you're back with them? That as a dad, if that
I'd
happened to
be
my kid, I'd be like,
protective.
I don't want you back with this person because they're
the
just
reason y'all
playing
broke up.
games. You were engaged. There's a reason why you broke up, like Roula just said.
Well, I feel like I'm on the fence on this
So
because we
even
have
though I've
had
done both.
good examples and bad examples
Right.
on this show via our listeners who call us up and tell us stories. You know, the guy who was engaged to be married to that girl whose family basically broke them apart and said he's not good enough for you or whatever. They didn't like him. So they made her call the wedding off. And how many, I don't remember how much time passed. I think it was a year. Was it 6 months? If you're still listening, text me at 37530. They got back together. They got secretly, like not secretly married, but it was like a low key, let's just get married. They've been married 10 years and he's the favorite son-in-law. So hearing stories like that, I know it's possible
Can I play
to
the
have
beginning
been
of that?
engaged and break it off and then still make it work.
Did I hear her right? Did she say they've been apart for 5 years? Let me
They
play.
dated for 5 years, I wrote down, and they took a 2-year break.
2-year break?
Now, yeah, it's been 2
Okay.
years away from each other, and now they're back
I'm just
together
curious
for
what
a month or two.
What the age is.
Yeah.
You know, if if you're 23 and then you've been away from each other for, you're 20,
A
25,
lot happens
30.
between.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we talk about how your gut tells you everything. And I feel like she would know this is bad if her gut was telling her, you're just in this because you know him.
Oh,
But it is possible to be engaged to somebody, have it break off, take a break, and come back to that person, and it works. Because I've heard it on our show. I haven't lived it personally, but I've heard it on our show.
Yeah, but 5 years maybe, and you're not having fun. These people are not as
And
it's bad dates, bad relationships.
Right.
You realize, man, I was stupid. I should have stayed with that
Well,
person.
2 years ago when y'all broke up, you were in a different place maybe, or you were a different person. 7 years ago when y'all first met, y'all were different people.
Yeah.
What was that one text? Somebody, they were together for 13 years, got divorced for 7, and now they're back together for almost 15.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So it can happen.
It absolutely can happen.
That would suck for your
Just
kids, though.
like-
Say you're like 11 or 12, your parents get divorced.
It's
And then by the
okay.
time you're in college, you get back together, I'd be like, what the?
Oh my God, that happened on our show too, Eric. Remember that girl called in? She was so mad at her parents.
Remember the kids? Yeah, they were so upset because you put us through that hell.
Yeah, she was so mad. We asked adult kids to call us about their parents divorcing when they were younger. Do you feel like it was good or bad? And this one girl called in, so she was so mad at her parents because they got back together after she graduated college. And she goes, seriously, you put me through all of that since I was 10?
That sucks.
Yeah.
Just to be married now that I'm 24? She was so mad.
I don't blame
that
her.
They didn't stay divorced.
But to this woman who called in, I would say as long as you are not doing this because it's familiar, because you hate dating out there, the dating
You're lonely.
scene
Or
sucks.
because you need a plus one.
You should be in it because you love this person and you can't imagine life without them.
How about this one? This texter says, I've gone through this with my now husband. We were engaged. We planned a wedding. Then we broke up. We called everything off because his ex didn't know that she was pregnant and had a baby. But then they found each other again, and now they've been married. I don't know how long they've been married now for. And man, I bet there was a lot of layers on that. Yeah. Getting back to the wedding day.
Now, you and Tassos always stayed together, right?
Yeah, we did. Like
No
9
breakups?
months.
You got engaged fast.
We got engaged
You weren't
fast, but
pregnant or
also
anything,
he lived somewhere else. And I feel like it's not, distance does make the heart grow fonder because there were so many times where if he couldn't come in for the weekend or we couldn't see each other for a week, you know, it just accelerated. Plus, you know, I was 30. I was 1 week before my 33rd birthday. I remember he sent me a birthday card. Like he left me a birthday card because he goes, you know, I hope this is one of the first birthday cards of many I'm going to be able to share with you. I remember that because my birthday was the week after our blind date. And, you know, if I was 23, different result.
If I wait
maybe.
longer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting.
Dated him longer.
5 of us here, all the guys have been through that in our relationships that we're with now.
Have been
We were
together,
with them,
broken
then we
up,
broke
and
up.
got
Oh,
back
yeah.
together.
And together. But Sam, you've been with them.
I've been with Mark since 2012.
So
And
there
no
was
breakups.
never any kind
Yeah,
of
so we
breakup
made no
along the
breakups.
way.
He can't leave me, even if he wanted to.
He's got no choice.
He has no
He's
choice.
chained right now to the bed.
He's
I'm
stuck.
obsessed.
He is.
He's got a computer in front of him just to do Zoom calls.
Right,
No.
exactly. That's how he actually goes to work.
So funny. Okay, so to the lady who called in, what are we telling her? Go with your gut and take
Make
it with a
sure
grain of
it's for
salt.
the right reason.
Don't let the titles and the circumstances mar your clarity.
Better hope your
if you're
family's
happy
cool.
now and it's a
Yeah,
better
yeah.
person, it's a better place, then just go with it. Let's see what happens.
Fun.
All right, coming up next. When it does break up because somebody cheated, that's when you call us next.
Yeah.
How'd you catch your cheater? You know, here we are very well known for Roula and Ryan's Roses, where we help you find out if your mate is a cheater, but many people found out on their own. And we ask them to call us to open up our eyes to the ways they found out to help the next person what to look out for. How did you catch your cheater? 833-390-KRBE is our phone number. We'll talk to you next on KRBE.
You busted them on your own, so pick up your phone. How'd you catch a cheater on the Roula and Ryan Show?
Yeah.
KRBE.
How do you catch that cheater? How did you catch your cheater?
You didn't need
Unfortunately,
us.
your relationship fell apart because you caught your mate messing around behind your back, lying to you, straight up with somebody else. You didn't need Rule and Ryan's Roses for that. So we open our lines to you at 833-390-KRBE. We've got Bianca and Aixa standing by, and they've got to run. So I wanted to make sure we got their calls before they ran off.
Sabon's like, they're good. So he's like, I don't want to lose them.
Okay, so Bianca's going to go first. Hi, Bianca. Welcome to the Rule and Ryan Show. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
All
How
right.
did you catch your cheater? First of all, was it your husband, your boyfriend?
Yeah,
give us the background.
Oh, it's Winter Twins.
My ex and I, we have actually started up messing around. I want to say we've been in our lives for maybe about 4 years.
Okay.
But living together, it was 2 years. We always, maybe we had 2 hiccups with his ex. And this last time, before the holidays, we took a break. He moved out. And
Wow, taking a break and moving out, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big break.
You didn't just, we're taking a break, but also I have to get movers. That's like
You
a
gotta
breakup.
take all your stuff.
we spent the holidays together. I have 2 daughters, and they're very fond of him. They're super close to him. But during the break, you just feel like when things are just not
Right.
the same, you feel like
Right.
you're just, that person is just half in, half there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? I was like, maybe this is just part of what taking a break is. Because to be honest, this is my first time actually going through this. So I was like, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's not talk for a couple days. Let's take a break for a couple weeks. Just live your life. I'll live my life. And when we see each other, we'll see each other.
And
but
what did you find
no,
out?
I want to talk to you. I want to see you. I want to spend time with you. Whatever. Actions speak louder than words.
Okay.
Right? So him saying oh yeah, I want to see you, I want to spend time with you, but literally never making the time or always making up an excuse.
So you knew something's up.
So
Yeah, what did you find
The
out,
past-
Bianca?
Yeah, well, how'd you find
So
it?
actually, I found out this Saturday.
Oh.
He did say he was going to the Texans games with his best friend.
Okay.
And obviously, I was like, yeah, go for sure. I had already bought movie tickets because he said, buy movie tickets for $9:30. Fine. I buy movie tickets because we're going to the movies. We're going on a date. 7 o'clock-ish, I'm like, okay, I think the game is over. Why aren't you checking in?
Yeah, because that's when the game ended. It was around 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Then what happened?
8 o'clock, I text him again.
Mm-hmm.
So no response for an
9
hour.
o'clock, I text him again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
10 p.m. I call again.
Nothing. For 3 hours, nothing.
And I was like, you know what? I have a gut feeling.
I'd be like, are you dead?
All right.
I have
happened
a
to you?
gut feeling.
A train
Did you
run
drive over to where he lives?
No. To his ex-girlfriend's house. Celebrating her son's birthday. The son that she had after she left him.
Oh, so he's not the dad of this child.
He's not the dad of this child.
So he didn't go to the
pulls
game.
up a date with you to go to the ex's son's birthday, and he was he at the game or not? Good question, Eric. Did he actually go to the game, or was that a lie?
He never went to the game.
It was just a
He ended up
lie.
texting me like at midnight, talking about I'm so drunk, like you won't understand, like you won't believe me. I'm like, of course not.
What a
Of course
loser.
not. Like
So
you
it's
didn't
dead in the
even
water
go
now.
to the game.
So Bianca, is
He's
it
like,
dead in the
you
water?
wouldn't understand.
Yeah, you're not going to take him back, are you?
Oh yeah, of course not.
Good.
Of
Oh, I
course
thought you
not.
said, oh, yeah, of course I am. I was like, wait, what?
No, you're done.
No.
Man.
Of course not.
Well, if anything, you can't take him back now that you put it on the Roula and Ryan show.
'Cause
Just
the
for
game-
principle alone.
Yeah.
Because
Please
it was
don't.
so calculated. Think about it. He concocted a lie, an elaborate lie as to why he wouldn't be available. Oh, I'm at the Texans game.
So he was
when
there
he
from
knew all along that he was going to be at his
2:30
ex's
till
house.
he's thinking, all right, 2:30 to 7, I'll be at her place, and then I'll go to see the
Yeah.
movie at 9:30. Plenty of time.
Yeah,
But then he
juggle them
ended up
both.
staying.
He got drunk, I guess.
Okay. All
Or
right.
maybe that's
How'd
not
you
even the
catch your
case.
cheater
Or he
from
just
his
stayed there and
own
helped
lies?
the
Yeah.
kid
I
to
mean, that
bed
was her
and-
instinct that drove her to the ex's place. That's 'cause she
wild.
would have not
Yes.
known if she not drive to the
Yes.
ex's place. All right. Aixa is up next at 833-390-KRBE. People are telling us how they caught their mates cheating. For Bianca, it just happened on Saturday. Aixa, how long ago did this situation that you're telling us about happen to you? Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
This
Morning.
happened last year in June.
Okay.
Okay.
Boyfriend, husband, what's the background?
Boyfriend, we were together for about 10 years, though, so.
Oh, wow.
Oh, a long
You're a
time ago.
companion.
Mm-hmm.
You're a 10-year companion.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened?
Yeah, so I always cook him breakfast, lunch, dinner. He had it all, and I would pack his lunch, or sometimes I'll take it to him to work, and sometimes I would like to surprise him, of course. And one day, I surprised him at work, and he was upset. Oh, I already got lunch, and why didn't you tell me? And why is it a surprise? Like, why would it be a problem for it to be a surprise?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Surprises.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. Me, I've been through the cheating before, and I won't take you back for it. That's it. Once you cheat, I'm done. It's once a cheater, always a cheater.
So you felt
If
something
I
was
could-
happening here. You felt like,
When he wasn't happy that you surprised him at work, what was the
He
next
wasn't happy.
telltale sign?
Not
Yeah.
happy. Okay.
Yes. So, of course, what I did is went to go get a rental. I got a rental, and I said, I know if I'm spending money, it's a gut feeling. I already know.
Why'd you get a rental?
A rental
because
of what?
I didn't want him to see me in my car.
yeah,
So
different
you
Oh,
got
rental
a rental
car.
car so you
Oh,
could spend
man,
on him
that
without
is-
being
You didn't borrow
spotted.
you didn't borrow. You went to like Enterprise and said, I need a car for 2 hours.
to rent a car.
Damn.
You should have just went to
Okay.
Home Depot. They got like the
Yeah, the
truck you
trucks
can try.
for 30 minutes?
Yeah, $19 for an hour.
We're going to
Okay,
U-Haul for
so
10
you get
bucks.
a rental
All
car.
right.
You
Should've
get a rental car and you
could've.
take
She's
it
just-
where? You take where do you
almost
drive that
got a
rental car?
U-Haul.
Oh, you rented a
Yes, I
U-Haul.
wanted to get it. I almost got a U-Haul.
Oh,
Okay,
I was making a joke. I didn't-
Okay.
So you drive the rental car where? To like his work parking lot so he doesn't know your car, or where did you take that car?
Yes, so I went across the street from his work parking lot, and I was crying on him. I was just watching, and I waited, and they came out together, and they were together, kissing, hugging. They were in love. It was crazy. He walked her to her car, or I'm sorry. He walked her to her car, and that's when it all happened.
Did you let your presence be known? Like when you saw them together, did you get out and say, excuse me?
Or I don't think
No.
that's the word she used.
Who's that bitch?
Taking off my earrings.
Yeah, how did you confront
Hold
him?
my earrings. I'm at the girl fight.
I didn't. I did not, because I already knew what I was going for. So I already I got a rental.
Did you at least take a picture of him?
Yes, because he's going to deny
Did
Yeah.
he show
I
you?
recorded them.
Oh, you
I
recorded them.
I
Okay.
took pictures. Yes, I did it all. I took pictures
So
recorded. He lied about it.
how did you confront him?
Yeah, tell us about the reveal, the breakup.
I showed him, and I did tell him that I knew, and he still denied it.
Oh, God.
Even with the recording.
How can you deny
For real.
Now it looks like I'm not kissing her.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
He
So
denied.
he's cheating on you with one of his coworkers, all huggy, kissy feels in the parking lot. You've recorded it. You show it to him, and he says he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
And later I find out there's way more than just one.
Well, thank God that you
Oh,
got away from
wow.
that bozo loser. So how long have you been married now?
It was June, so they got engaged at Christmas. Yeah, you're done with them, right? I hope
He's
you're.
still calling me that he misses me.
He
sure
misses
he
you all
does.
damn day.
Yeah.
He's missing the girl that was letting him run around behind her back.
Yeah.
Forget him.
No.
Oh, man, Aixa, wow. That
was the best money you ever spent on a rental.
No
That was worth it.
kidding.
That was wild.
That guy's a bozo. Thank you so much for calling the show. And look at you. You've given people ideas now. Wait a second. I can rent a regular car or I can rent a Home Depot truck.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Now everyone knows.
We have done Roses for so long, and Roses has evolved. The thing that we have seen happen on Roses so often is they get an AirTag or some kind of tracking device, and they just put it on the car.
The
and then
AirTag's
they
got to be
know.
careful because it tells you.
It has a beep.
Like when I put my luggage, it'll make a beep or it'll say you're leaving. Or
Yeah, but if you put it on the
somebody's
outside of
tracking
the
it,
car,
they'll tell you if somebody.
It'll tell
and there's
you.
other brands
tell you.
besides Air.
By the way,
Yeah.
You go to
I
a
wanna-
spice shop, I assume maybe the spice shops would have that.
Oh, go on Amazon.
Well,
There's
you don't
not
need
a
spy
million.
shops. When you got TikTok, Lisa is going to tell us a little story about how she caught her cheater
We
through
got-
TikTok.
For one more week.
Hi, Lisa. Good morning. I know it's the 19th.
Good morning,
Hi.
Good morning.
So we're asking the question, how'd you catch your cheater? How long ago was this relationship? The story you're about to tell us happened how long ago?
This was about almost 2 years ago.
Okay. So how did you catch him on TikTok? Through TikTok?
Okay, so I had suspicions. I honestly thought it was a completely different girl. I never knew it was his ex. So I was like, okay, because he was talking to this girl, and I was like, they were just friends. And he started being mean. You know how guys get when they start, cheating. It's like they hate you, so they start being mean. So he just started being weird. He had changed his password on his phone. I thought that was a little suspicious.
That's suspect.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. So I had confronted him, and I was like, are you doing anything? And he was like, no, I'm not doing anything, this and that. So I had just school. So he took me to
Your phone
college
dropped
that
out.
night.
You had just what?
Finish school or
I just started school.
Oh, just
I
started
had
school,
Just
okay.
got into college, yes. So he dropped me off, and he was like, I'm going to go hang out with my friend. And I was like, okay. So he had posted a picture of his friend on Instagram, but it was at a house. And he always said that his friend lived in a house. But his location said otherwise. His location said that he was at an apartment somewhere in Houston. And I was like, huh, So I had asked him, I was like, who are you with? And he's at some park. First he goes to Subway, right? Then he's at some park. And, I had a gut feeling, and I'm like,
Is he everywhere he visited?
you're at a park with a dude? Like, that's kind of weird.
With Subway?
So then...
with the subway that you went
Yeah.
with the dude
Yeah.
on the
Got a
park.
sandwich
Then
when he
he was
enjoys the
like,
park.
Yeah.
Cookies. He's a baller.
So you're tracking
so
where he's
then-
going, and he doesn't realize you can see his location.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm
as he
calling
lies to
him,
you on the
I'm-
phone. Okay.
Right. So I'm like, hey, I got this paperwork in the car that I need for school. Can you go check? And I'm FaceTiming, trying to, play it off. And he would not answer it. And he was like, my phone's about to die, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, whatever.
According to
So
my
at
Lab
this point, I'm
360,
like,
you
you're
have
a
65%
liar.
left on your battery.
Yep, yeah, like 360.
Live
I'll tell you.
360 tells you how
Right.
much your
It
loved
tells
one's
you that.
battery has on their phone.
So they can't lie
No
and say,
way.
oh, my
Yeah, he
phone's
said it
dead.
was like 10% or something like that. And I'm like, okay,
It
whatever.
even warns you when it gets
So
to
I'm like,
5%.
okay.
It goes wah 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 on your phone.
Right.
5% battery
To hear
life.
your
So
kids.
you still have a little bit of battery life left over. So then that happened. And then I said, you know what? Cut the crap and let me know what's going on. He's like, you're crazy. You're this. You're
of course.
no, whatever.
You're crazy.
You know,
Gaslight.
they start playing that blame game. So then I'm like, okay, well, snap me a picture of your friend that you're supposedly with.
Oh,
Snap
yeah.
won't lie because,
Uh-oh.
it's live. And he wouldn't. And he refused. And then he was like, well, come get me from school. And he's like, well, I got to take my friend home. I said, you got me, messed up. You're going to come get me because you're in my car. And
Oh, no.
So then he never, picked me up with his supposable friend. So, I'm over here looking up this girl. And then I had an idea of, let me look up his ex. So he had just recently got this new necklace when he hung out with his boys. That was his story.
The guy's
And he
got
said
me a
that his
necklace?
friend, I'm sorry?
He bought himself some man jewelry, a necklace when he was hanging out with his guy friends.
No,
And that's where he
was
told
saying
her.
that his friends, that his friend gave them all necklaces.
Wait,
They all got the
like
same
dudes,
necklace.
whatever. Okay, let's get past
Guys
that.
don't give
Let's get past that, Ryan.
necklaces. Okay.
He got the jewelry necklace. That was his excuse. Where did it really come from?
So I'm scrolling through TikTok, and I'm like, okay, let me look up his ex. I look up his ex, and the same necklace is
Of
on
course.
this girl.
Of course.
Oh.
Matching
Yes.
necklaces.
Yes.
So when did
He
you come
was
at him?
asleep. He was asleep, and I really wanted to grab a sock and put quarters and hit him. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna catch my car.
Wait, can we hear that again? You went to grab a sock and fill it with quarters and hit him while he slept.
It's like a prison.
Because you were
I
so
would've-
mad
I
that you
would've
figured out the
died.
cheat.
I was
So how did you
pissed.
confront him real quick?
But
Just
it
run
was
out of time.
crazy.
How did you actually
He
tell him,
felt-
I saw this on TikTok, you big fat liar? How did you tell him?
Yeah.
So I was pacing back and forth, and I guess he felt it, and he woke up, and he's like, "What's wrong, Lisa?" I looked at him, and I was like, "You liar!" I was like, "You said that I was crazy, and you were saying all these things." So I snatched the necklace off his neck,
Oh.
and he just was lost for words. He didn't know what to say, like at all.
And did he ever
So,
say
yeah,
that?
that
they'll
was
never-
my story of
they're gonna
how I
deny
caught
it.
a cheater.
Whoa, Lisa on TikTok.
I wish you would have hit him with the quarters.
The coins and the sock.
Oh, then you get the cops
It's a sock.
involved.
Try Tuesday. We got to try that.
Absolutely. Are you out of your mind?
We're not
Do you
gonna
know how
hurt
bad
each
that
other.
hurts?
Nobody's going to hit you, Eric. and
Yeah,
Nobody
you
else is
get
going to
hit.
get
No, we'll hit
hit.
something. We don't
No,
want
I
to
think
hit
I
each
swipe
other.
at you with a sock full of
Like,
quarters.
what kind
The
of
whole
damage can it
purpose of
do?
the sock
A
is so
lot
it
of
doesn't leave
damage.
A lot of
a
damage.
Do you know how
handprint.
heavy that is? It's like basically a metal weight coming at your face.
Yeah.
And your head.
Put
And
some
they, like,
soap in it then. Let me some,
Yep.
soap
All right,
bars.
y'all go ahead and try between the two of y'all, Special
Yes.
K and Eric.
Soap bar.
One hits one with a
Soap
soap
quarter
sock,
fight. We'll
and
start
the other
with
one's
each
a
other.
quarter sock, and let's see what happens. Anyway, so
Wow,
there you
y'all
go.
don't disappoint. I can say that
And a lot
much.
of people don't realize how much they're being tracked on their phone when they're, and that's usually technology throws it out there.
But Eric, you brought up a point about go to a spy shop. So I
Goodness.
don't want to divulge which friend, but I have a friend that's having a problem with their child and wants to track. So we went on Amazon. Y'all, there are things that are the size of like a needle that you can track.
Yep.
I mean, and they're not that expensive.
Yeah,
like,
Amazon
you know,
has a
like for
lot.
like $25, you can get this.
I did. There's this listener that I always had him. I emailed with them to come up here. I need to talk to them again to come up here. They own a spy shop.
oh, interesting.
There's some cool stuff and the
Well-
cool technology stuff that you can have and to check to make sure go to Airbnb, make sure there are no perverts
Oh, with
recording
hidden
you.
cameras.
Oh, that's good to know. All right, go to krbe.com if you'd like to hear our podcast of what you may have missed if you're just catching this conversation on how'd you catch your cheater. You can also call the listener line and tell us how you caught your cheater at 713-278-VENT. Now, coming up next, we've got some Monster Jam tickets for
Nice
you.
Monster
In
Jam.
Celebrity Scoop on the Roula and Ryan Show and 104.1 KRBE.
What up, what up, what up? Listen. Get ready. This is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
KRBE.
All right, it's brought to you by Taqueria Sarandas. And I'm going to kick this off with something really fun. If you've never been to Monster Jam, well, get your headphones on so you can protect your ears and
It
you'll have
is
fun.
deafening when you're in there,
To
but it is a
see monster
blast.
trucks. It's 4 tickets to Monster Jam. It's going to be at NRG Stadium. The dates are February 1st, February 2nd, and February the 8th. You will be caller 10 to win the 4 tickets, but guess what? Also, you have a chance at winning a suite for 14 people.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
Noise. Caller 10 833-390-KRBE. You're going to win 4 tickets to Monster Jam, and you're a finalist for the suite for you and 13 friends to enjoy Monster Jam. So have fun with that.
That's cool.
And, we were talking about how. What was I saying earlier about the
Sam's
celebrities?
pregnant? Nope.
No, well, yeah,
if
the
you
big
missed
one
the
is that.
announcement
Oh,
at
yeah.
7:40, Sam's expecting baby number 2.
Yes, last hour of the family meeting was that Sam and Lee's having another baby.
Baby,
But she doesn't know. She wants to know what it is yet, so she's calling it Moo. It doesn't make sense.
calls it
Just
baby
go with
moo.
it. Just go with it.
Just go with it. Yeah, y'all.
But we were talking about in entertainment how all these lawsuits get launched, and you kind of never find out whatever happened. And then every now and again, we get the story of, hey, Ed Sheeran won his lawsuit. He
yeah.
doesn't have to fork over the money because this person said, oh, that one strand of guitar string sound.
But all you hear is they're getting sued, and then we don't hear what happens a lot of
The
times.
aftermath
Right.
now.
You just think,
So-
they stole.
An animator named Buck Woodall claims that Moana 2 has been 100% stolen from something that he wrote decades ago, a decades-old screenplay. And he says the Moana franchise has been entirely lifted from what he wrote. On Friday, he filed a lawsuit and claims that Mandeville Films development director Jenny Marchick violated his copyright by secretly passing the screenplay to Disney.
Oh.
He produced confidentially this screenplay for her 20 years ago, and that material became Moana and Moana 2. Now, what have we learned from watching things, especially if you watch the Golden Globes or people that win awards and they say this was passed 300 times? Or,
Well, yeah. It gets in
like,
development hell, and it can actually be a script that is set in the vaults for decades.
Or just sits there forever. Like over the holidays, I watched the movies that made us again about Elf. And the guy that wrote Elf always had this dream to make Elf a story about, because he loved Christmas movies as a child and he lost his dad when he was young. And he had this dream of what the movie should have been. And the first time he presented to somebody, it's called optioning the film. They optioned his screenplay, which means they own it now for a year. They optioned it for a year. And when they started talking about what direction the movie was going to go in, he really was not happy. And he let it just die out.
He was hoping they would.
Like he was hoping they would just let the option run out and it'd be free for him to shop it somewhere else. And that's what happened. But other times, these movie companies don't let it die out and they just own it and it just sits in a vault somewhere, like Ryan said, and it just goes and goes. Well, the court ruled last November when he first brought up a situation like this that they prevented him from bringing a lawsuit against the original 2016 film because the filing would have come too late. So now that Moana 2 is out, he's like, wow, I'm suing for the second one then. Because he claims his screenplay covers Moana 1 and Moana 2.
And that's got to be frustrating if you actually, because we don't know the truth, but if you actually wrote that and a big company is profiting hundreds of millions of dollars and you got nothing for that.
And then you go to like Disney World and they're going to have a whole Moana section they're building. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't even take
How
your
much
family
that
there.
bite him to know that was my idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think about when you write a script and like you said, it's being passed around. So that means thousands of people are reading your script and that can seep into their brain.
Yeah, it gets ripped off.
And they could just tell their friend, man, I've read this thing, and you just hear parts of it, and then you try and make something off their idea.
And have you ever seen Shark Tank, where Kevin O'Leary, a.k.a. Mr. Wonderful,
he's buying TikTok,
constantly tells people as they're presenting their idea, well, what's going to stop me from just copying you and just putting this on Amazon? Like he always,
you just admitted that you're stealing.
Yeah, but people do that
because there's no like. He could just take it. And,
if it's not been copyrighted.
Yeah, he's like, I could just take that idea or change a few things.
Mm-hmm.
So this animator says that he delivered extremely large quantities of intellectual property and trade secrets to the initial person 20 years ago. The materials included completed screenplay, character illustrations, budgets, a fully animated concept trailer, storyboards, background image references, and more. And he said that he got copyright protection on the material in 2004. It was updated in 2014. That's why he feels like he has a leg to stand on in this lawsuit. He was calling it Bucky. This is called Moana. So let's see what happens.
But I mean, it's also, it's very intimidating. How do you go up against a major studio who has hundreds of lawyers and an unlimited budget to defend themselves? And you are a single individual. Roula, you know more than anybody. If you go into a lawsuit, how expensive it is.
It's expensive. It takes forever. Usually, though, the person getting sued kind of just sits and chills out because the person suing them has to kind of bring it. You know, I've been, unfortunately, in both situations. I have been sued and I have sued someone. And when I was sued, I just sat around and waited for the update.
Yeah, but you're 2-0.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Lost.
Thank you, Jesus.
By the way,
thank you, Jesus.
Speaking of funny names, now they changed the name from Moana to Bucky. I was listening to some old 80s channel or something, and they were talking about the song Mickey. Mickey, you're so fine.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so
fine. The original song in
Mickey.
London was called Kitty.
Oh, Kitty?
Really?
Oh, Kitty, you're so fine.
It's hey,
Kitty.
Mickey.
Yeah, well,
you're so fine, not oh.
Yeah, so it's Kitty down. It used to be Kitty instead of Mickey.
Well, also that song with
what?
Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl, it was Gary's Girl.
That sounds better.
But they said that name was lame.
Gary's Girl.
It's Gary. It was a real guy named Gary. He liked the girlfriend, but he said Gary's Girl just didn't feel right.
Here's one you
So
can
they did
type.
Jesse's
But
Girl.
Gary sounds better than Jesse's.
It does. You can type in.
That's because our whole life, that's all we know.
Type in Barry Manilow singing Mandy. You know that song, But I Sent You Away, Oh Mandy.
How old are you?
It's an old song. I know. Well, because one of my friends is a record rep, and he sent me the audio. It was originally called Brandy, and you hear him singing it and saying the wrong word, and he goes, "Oh, S."
It's just funny how you think certain
Oh,
words.
Brandy. Oh, Mandy.
Yeah.
Well,
Sandy.
It was going to be the Nolan Ryan
Sandy.
show until they figured out my name was Rula.
Be Randy.
The Nolan and Ryan.
Hey, yo, for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell
Nolan
you
Ryan's
what's
another
going
person.
down in H-Town.
And I'll tell you, brick and mortar stores, they are really, really hurting right now. Macy's in Alameda Mall is going to close forever. And 5 other Texas locations have been targeted for closure as part of the company's restructuring plan.
Maybe if you bought there, Ryan, instead of just going there and trying the
selling
stuff
everybody.
on, and then go to Amazon and buy
But
it.
is it my responsibility to try and keep a store open?
Yes.
Yes, Fast Daddy.
When
it
I
is.
see the exact same product on Amazon or any other site and it's cheaper, why would I spend
Because I want to
more
support.
money?
Like I could probably go and buy something. Maybe at
Support
Walmart,
a big
but I buy
company?
a little mom and pop. I could buy something from them.
I'll support a
I
mom
could
and
buy
pop,
a
but I'm
steak
not
cheaper in the
supporting a
grocery
big
store and cook
chain.
it myself. But guess what? I sure would enjoy Papa's Brothers Steakhouse to make it for me and for a fancy night and a special occasion. And I would be sad if for a special occasion, a fancy restaurant didn't exist for me to celebrate my family.
Yep.
I mean, we could all sit around the table at home every single night. If you want to go fancy every now and again, it's nice
All
there's a
those
place to go
companies,
fancy in.
They have just got to be cursing Jeff Bezos. Which, by the way, there's a story came out over the weekend about Jeff Bezos. His wife has donated more in the past 2 years than Jeff Bezos has done his entire life.
Really?
Say it
Yeah.
again? Say that
The
again?
wife that
The
he
ex-wife.
divorced, the ex-wife that he divorced, she donated in the last 2 years more money to different charities than Jeff Bezos
He's got to make it.
Well, how
has
do you know
done
that?
his entire life.
Where does
Pay for
that
the
stat
yacht.
come from? How do you know that?
I was reading the article. I don't have it with me
Clickbait.
right now.
Clickbait,
It's
Ryan.
not clickbait,
It's clickbait.
but it's just
They
interesting.
see your
Clickbait.
taxes and stuff.
Ryan says things as facts. I hear it on clickbait.
Clickbait story.
Hey, Ryan.
All right, did you miss what happened on Roses today? Because we checked in with Courtney. She gave us an update to what happened last Thursday when she heard her husband Steven send roses to Missy, not to her. You're going to get the recap and the update next on The Roula and Ryan Show.